Hey everyone, so today's class we're going to be doing 10 ways to use a yoga block. Some of them you'll find familiar, some of them might be brand new to you, but grab 2 blocks and we'll go ahead and begin. Let's start on our backs. So the first way that we're going to use the blocks here is in a passive heart opener. So the first block we're just going to be placing underneath the lower part of the upper back, so right around the bottom part of the ribs there. And we'll take it the lengthways across our yoga mat and just kind of start to settle down on top of it so that you feel really supported. And then our second block we're going to be using just to catch our head. So find your way there, and the block that's underneath the ribs, you're welcome to take it down a level if this is just too much of a back bend for you. And release the arms alongside you. And you can do anything at all with the legs. So find a position that might be comfortable for the next minute or so as we start to focus on our breath. Allow the eyes to soften. And let's just start to notice how we're breathing. Without trying to change it, it's always nice to just check in. Notice that natural ebb and flow of the breath. See if you can begin to detect the air filling the body from bottom to top. And releasing from top to bottom. Noticing the qualities of the breath as it moves through each part of the body. So still feeling somewhat effortless as you fill the belly. But because we're resting our ribs on the block, it might be a little bit more challenging to breathe deeply when the breath reaches the rib cage. So just notice that. You might even feel like the back is pressing into the block as you breathe in. And then you can kind of just melt down over top of the block as you breathe out. See if you can relax the shoulders down. Relaxing the muscles of the face. Finding this natural rhythm to your breathing, something that you don't have to think about too hard, that's really easy to maintain. If you were to change anything about the breath right now, I would just ask that you maybe soften. Let the breath be smooth and relaxed, both on the inhale and on the exhale. This one here is a great pose that I personally like to stay in for many, many minutes, but for the purposes of this practice today, let's stay just 5 more breaths. And last breath here. of this one, whatever position the legs are in here, see if you can find your way to planting the soles of your feet on your mat. And then I like to reach my hands down and catch hold of the sides of my yoga mat, and then lift my head up. And you're just gonna kind of lean to one side or the other, slide the blocks out from underneath you, and then just lay down and take a moment to notice any change. Maybe it feels a little bit easier to breathe in through the ribs right now, after creating that nice heart opening. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a little squeeze and rock side to side. Good. Now from here, just taking the arms out to a T, and we'll just drop our knees to the right and look to the left. See if you can allow the outer right leg to completely land on the floor, taking your gaze all the way over that left shoulder. Maybe taking your right hand and pressing it against your outer left knee. You need just a little bit deeper expression here. Turn your gaze back up, bring the knees back through center, and then as you exhale, take the knees to the left and look over that right shoulder. Maybe taking the left hand to the outer right thigh, the outer right knee. And slowly coming back up through center, and maybe just rocking forward and backward, coming all the way up to seated, and then right over to child's pose. Bring your blocks near the front end of your mat and find a child's pose. If you can, big toes touching, knees apart. Maybe knees together if you need a little bit more support, but really stretching those arms out in front of you, relaxing the forearms down, and seeing if you can relax the forehead down as well. Just noticing the breath. Again, allowing it to continue to be effortless here. As we inhale now, let's rise up to hands and knees. And now we're going to open the shoulders just a little bit more here with these blocks. So we're going to take the blocks and either set them on their shortest possible height at the front of your mat, or you could even take them to the second tallest height if you prefer. And just so you can see, I'm going to have my blocks kind of angled here like in a V shape, whether they're flat on the floor or if they're up on that second level, I'm going to have them angled out to the side so that there's space for my head to relax in between the blocks. So go ahead and choose which height you'd like there. I'm going to take the second tallest height. And then we're going to bring our elbow tips to the blocks. Join the palms together and just begin to walk the knees back in space and melt the heart down towards the floor. So another one to open up the middle and upper back, and also now getting into the shoulders pretty deeply depending on the height you've chosen. Maybe bringing your thumbs to the upper back. And if even the shortest height of the block is too much for you, you can simply take that child's pose again, or you can do this very same pose without the blocks. Let's see if we can allow ourselves to melt in whatever position we've chosen. See if you can relax the heart down. And with each and every exhale, letting yourself sink just a little bit deeper. We'll take about 5 more breaths in this one here as well. And now to get out of this one carefully, we'll begin to lift the head, press the elbow tips into the blocks, take the arms back forward, and just kind of crawl your way forward here. You can move the blocks to the side, keep them at the front of the mat, but meet me in this table pose. So creases of the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and we'll just take some basic cat-cows here. So as we inhale, we're dropping the belly and lifting the gaze. And as we exhale, just tucking the tail and rounding the spine, maybe even tucking the chin at the end there. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine. Let's take two more. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine. One more. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. And exhale, tucking and rounding. Good. Now come to a neutral table pose, and we're going to take a spinal balance, but putting a little twist on it. So we're going to be using our yoga blocks and elevating our spinal balance. So take your first block and place it underneath your hand. We're going to take our second block and place it underneath our left knee. So the first block is under the right hand, the second block is under the left knee. So from here, we're just going to come up onto our left fingertips and just start to elevate that right knee so that our shoulders and our hips are aligned with each other. And if you're feeling unbalanced, you might leave your left toes down on the floor, or you can just lift them up to hover off of the floor. Good. Now from here, as we inhale, stretch the right leg back and the left arm forward for spinal balance. Breathe. As you exhale, really slowly crunch the elbow towards the knee. Good. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch the elbow to the knee. Inhale to extend just one more time. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good. Inhale to extend, and we'll pause here. Breathe here. Good. Now as you exhale, drop your left hand down to the floor, drop your right knee down right underneath that right hip, and pivot your right shin back behind you. Left leg goes back, left arm lifts. So we're in this modified version of a side plank. The right hand is still down on that block. And now let's bend into our left knee, reach back and catch hold of the left foot. So elevating that right hand on the block might be just enough space for you, if you haven't been able to get this one before, to now be able to grab the foot. So pushing foot into hand, hand into foot, looking up towards the ceiling. Good. And now as you exhale, softly release. Square the hips, drop that left hand down to the floor. And now we'll step the left foot up to the front of the mat. And you can just sneak that left block back up to the front of the mat as well. Let's walk our right knee back in space. Push down into the left foot. Inhale, arms rise for a low lunge, pushing forward into the hips. Good, just a few breaths here. Good. And now as we exhale, drop the hands back down to those blocks. They're on the shortest possible level. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. And now as we inhale, we're just going to lift our hips up and back. Leave the hands on the block as you stretch that left leg straight. Or straightish. So if the leg doesn't want to straighten for you just yet, that's okay. Make sure the elbows are soft, so we're not pushing ourselves away from this pose with the blocks. Instead, we're just bringing the floor to us a little bit closer, but letting the elbows remain soft. A nice stretch for the hamstrings. Now as we inhale, we're going to re-bend into that left knee. We're going to keep the left hand down on the block, pivot and plant the right heel, and raise the right arm up in the air. So we're in a side plank, left hand is on that block. Gaze up in the direction of your right hand. And just for feedback, you might press your outer left knee into your inner left arm. Keep pressing that left hand into the block. And now stretch the left leg straight as you swim that right arm all the way over the right ear. Maybe lean back just a little bit, maybe gaze underneath that right arm if you can. Good, rebend into that left knee and slide the right hand down to the block, pivot onto the ball of the right foot, and let's just step the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Let the weight of the head hang heavy here. Good, pushing into both feet. Let's inhale, rise up. Extend the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, swim the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to plant the hands on those blocks and step the feet to the back of the mat. So now we're elevated up on these blocks. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, come forward on the tippy toes. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway down here. Untuck the toes, lift the shoulders, dip the hips, upward facing dog. Good. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, relax the heels. Hug the upper arm bones in here. And take one more breath. And then let's just drop the knees down to the floor. Good, slide the right block underneath the right knee. And leave that left hand on the left block. Come up onto your right fingertips and elevate the left knee so now the hips and the shoulders are aligned with each other. Take a moment. As we inhale, stretch the left leg back behind you and the right arm forward. Good, take a couple breaths here. Good, take one more inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it in, round the spine. Inhale to extend. And exhale to crunch. Inhale, extend. One more, exhale, crunch. Inhale to extend, pause here. And exhale, drop those right fingertips and the left knee down to the mat. Slide that right leg back behind you. We're taking that modified side plank, raise the right arm up. Good, and then bend into that right knee, reach back, catch hold of the foot, push foot into hand, hand into foot, look over that right shoulder. Good. Look down, square the hips, step the right foot up to the front of the mat, grab your other yoga block, set it to the outside of your right foot, and let's just walk our left knee back in space. Push into the right foot, inhale, rise up for a nice low lunge. Good, nice hip flexor stretch on that left side. As we exhale, drop the hands to those blocks, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and lift the hips up and back for our waterfall pose. Relax the left heel. See if you can really let the torso kind of melt down towards the thigh here, soften the elbows. Bend back into that right knee. Pivot and plant the left heel. This time that right hand's going to stay down on the block. Raise the left arm up towards the ceiling. And really hug the inner thighs, and you might press the outer right knee into the inner right arm. Keep pressing the right hand into the block, and as we inhale, stretch the right leg and stretch that left arm all the way over the left ear. Good, rebend into that right knee. Slide the left hand down to that block, pivot onto the ball of the left foot, and step the left foot forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, fold. Push into the feet. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead, and exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, folding forward, plant the hands on the blocks. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up. Breathe, look forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, drop the knees to the floor. Good, bring the big toes to touch, knees apart. Let's sink back to a child's pose here. You can leave your arms on the blocks if you want to. And see if you can relax the shoulders just a bit. One more breath here. Good. And as you inhale, rise back up. We're going to go through that just one more time. So this one, we're going to leave the block underneath the right hand, slide the left block underneath the left knee. Go ahead and stabilize, coming up on those left fingertips, raising the right knee, and slide the right leg back, left arm forward. So really key here is we're pushing into that right arm so that we're not dumping down. We have stability in the shoulders and the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, extend. One more, exhale, crunch. Inhale to extend. Exhale, drop the left fingertips down in the right knee. Inhale, modified side plank. Take that left arm up. And then reach back, catch hold of that left foot. Maybe arch the back as you gaze over that left shoulder. Good, slowly release, square the hips, step the left foot up between the hands. You can slide that left block forward as well. Good, walk that right knee back as we inhale. Let's rise up to a nice low lunge. Exhale, drop the hands down, lift the right leg, and straighten both legs for that nice hamstring stretch. Relax that right heel back. Good, bend into the left knee, step the right foot up to meet it. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up. We'll add just a tad bit on here. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower halfway down. Good, inhale, press back up. We'll do just one more. Exhale, lower halfway down. Find your upward facing dog. Dip the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, drop the knees, leave the block under the left hand. Slide the right block underneath that right knee. Come up onto those right fingertips, elevate the left knee. Inhale, extend right arm and left leg. Exhale to crunch, elbow in. Inhale to extend. And exhale to crunch. Inhale to extend. Last time, exhale, crunch. Inhale to extend, pause for a moment. Exhale, drop the left knee and the right fingers. Inhale, modified side plank. And exhale, reach back, catch hold of the foot, look over the shoulder. Good, release that bind, step the right foot up between the hands, sneak that right block up as well. Walk the left knee back in space. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, drop the hands to the blocks, lift the left knee, lift the hips, straighten that right leg. Good, just one more breath here. Bend into that right knee, and we're just going to step that left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swim the arms all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, press back up. We'll do just one more. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, drop the knees to the floor. And let's just sit back on the heels for just a moment. We're gonna flip over onto our backs. You do need, actually you really just need one block. But let's bring them both back with us and lay down onto your backs. And just take a moment here, relax the low back down on the floor, notice how everything feels. Notice the breath. All right, so grab hold of one of your yoga blocks now, and we're gonna lift our feet up off the floor, parallel the shins to the ceiling, and take the block and just press it into your thighs, so just above your knees. You can see here the flattest possible way, so we have the most space on the thighs. And we're just gonna push our hands into the block, push your knees back, and seal your low back onto the floor here. So a little bit of fun core work. We're going to keep pressing our right hand into the block, and as we inhale, stretch the left leg forward. Good. As you exhale, bring that left knee back to the block. Inhale, stretch the right leg all the way down and forward. Exhale, bring it back in. Good. Inhale, left side. You get the picture here. We're going to just move with our breath, kind of slow. Each inhale, we're stretching the leg, and each exhale, we're coming back up. We have just a few more rounds. Keep the low back pressing into the mat here as you move back and forth. Really, the more pressure you're placing on the block with the hands, the more intense, the more challenging it is. Good, take just one more round. And then when you've evened out those sides, go ahead and drop the feet to the floor. Lift the hips up, slide the block under your sacrum, and just take a moment to relax. That'll feel really nice there, that light pressure on the sacrum and the low back after doing all of that core work. Now let's just hug the right knee in towards the chest. Stretch the left leg all the way down on the mat as you hug the right knee in. This is a nice psoas release, or front of the hip and thigh release on that left side. Slide the left knee in and stretch the right leg out. So just switching sides here. Completely relax that right leg as you hug the left knee in. And now set the left foot down as you slide that right foot in. Lift the hips up, slide the block away. And then our last, but my most favorite way to use a yoga block is for just a little bit of myofascial release underneath the head. So we're taking the block here and setting it the short or the second tallest way right underneath the head so that the edge of the block here is kind of just nestled up in the base of the skull. We're just going to let the arms relax alongside of us. And this is a nice prep for Shavasana too, loosening up any tension that's left over in the neck. So first we're just letting the head be heavy. And now slowly roll the head to the right side, but pause when you find a spot that feels really good to rest on. Usually it's about maybe halfway to the side. If you do rotate the head all the way to the right as far as you can go, just slowly start to back it up and find again a spot that's really nice to relax in. You don't have to push the head into the block, just let the weight of the head do it for you. Let the weight of the head plus the pressure of gravity. It's really no effort on our part. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly roll the head back to center and right over to that left side again, maybe immediately finding a place that feels good or backing your way into it, but just finding a nice place to rest the head right on the side of the neck there where we're feeling like maybe this is a deep tissue massage or a place where we carry a lot of tension and it feels good to press on. Slowly rotate the head back to center, and we'll just take the hands back behind us and kind of sneak the block out of the way. Extend the legs down to the bottom corners of the mat. Relax the shoulders. And let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale to let it go. Just a few moments of rest here in Shavasana. Good. Now just stretching the arms back behind you. Maybe extending the legs forward, give yourself a nice deep stretch here. Gently pull the knees in towards the chest and either roll to your side or rock out up to seated. Thank you once again so much for watching and participating. Namaste.